Good evening. I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. The metro area is under a flash flood watch through this evening. The National Weather Service says showers and thunderstorms could produce 1 to 2 inches of rain. Officials say some areas could get up to 4 inches. Motorists are urged to avoid high water areas. Weeks of speculation came to an end when presidential candidate Joe Biden made his selection. After weeks of speculation, Joe Biden has made his pick. She is U.S. Senator Kamala Harris of California. The decision comes more than a year after Harris clashed with Biden on the debate stage while she was still a candidate over issues of race, busing, and crime. The announcement caps weeks of speculation about who would be Biden's selection. Dr. Alvin Thornton, who taught at Howard University where Harris attended, says it was a good move.
First of all, she's a woman, and secondly, she's a Black woman. So thirdly, she is a senator, junior senator from the largest, most populous state in the nation. Next, she obviously she's a senator, a U.S. senator, that she ran for office, so she's been vetted, she's been through the mill. She brings all of that. And I think the other dimension, other than those things that I've mentioned, she's a globalist. If you look at her ancestry, she brings all of that, which is what America needs now.
After weeks of controversy, Governor Larry Hogan agrees to use vote centers as an alternative to opening all polling sites for the November election. Officials say the pandemic has led to a shortage of workers and facilities available for Election Day. So Hogan has given the State Board of Elections authority to use the state's public high schools as voting centers. In addition, 80 early voting sites will be open from October 29th through Election Day. Alicia Alexander oversees elections in Prince George's County.
At this time, we still believe that there will be some challenges in recruiting election judges, and we plan to do a massive outreach to continue to recruit the poll workers to work at those vote centers.
Alexander says she's confident the majority of residents will cast their ballots by mail. Well, the county health department says it has specific criteria when it comes to COVID-19 retesting. The agency is clarifying its policy after council member Denny Tavares was recently refused a second test. According to a spokesperson, residents can be tested only once at a county-run facility. That's unless you have symptoms, been exposed, or directed to get a test by contact tracers. Officials say their guidelines have evolved during the course of the pandemic.
We did not have a retesting guideline until asymptomatic people who didn't have any changes in their health and had no new COVID-19 exposure wanted to be tested more than once. So our testing strategy guidelines are always interim. We're constantly and currently revolving our policies, and they can change based on the evolving circumstances of COVID-19 and the latest scientific data, as well as the CDC recommendations.
The county has opened another COVID-19 testing site at the Dyer Regional Health Center in Clinton. It's available Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 6 in the evening. Well, COVID-19 hospitalizations in Maryland are declining, and ICU levels have dropped by 25% since July 25th. That's according to the governor's office, which says the statewide positivity rate is 3.6%. Meantime, the health department is reporting 541 new COVID cases and 7 deaths over the last 24 hours. Well, have you seen this young boy? He is Jolexis Brown. He's 9 years old. He's been missing, police say, since August 4th. Police are posting his picture again, hoping that someone has seen him. He is 4 feet tall, weighs 90 pounds, and was last seen on the 10,000 block of Drago Place in Clinton. If you have any information about his whereabouts, you are asked to contact police. And as we reported earlier this week, the Humane Society has released a scorecard analyzing how states are addressing the intersection of animal welfare and public health. Patricia Vallone reports on what measures the organization wants Maryland to take. We must warn you that some parts of the story are very graphic.
Where hunters spend days going through the woods killing as many fur-bearing mammals, foxes, raccoons, as they can find.
The Humane Society says last year Maryland had a bill that would have banned some very cruel killing contests, as you can see from the very graphic nature of this video. But the coronavirus cut the 2020 General Assembly session short, and with it, many bills on the agenda.
Banning that practice would certainly improve the welfare of animals, and it would also end one of these very pervasive interactions that people have with wildlife.
The wildlife killing contest wasn't the only measure left unfinished due to the pandemic.
Other unfinished business from last legislative session, Maryland was going to join some other states in leading the way to end cosmetic testing on animals. Certainly in this day and age, we're seeing that testing on animals isn't always giving us the best results, and cosmetic testing on animals is completely unnecessary.
Bevan Dangle says the Humane Society had several bipartisan measures that they hope to bring back in the new year. Patricia Vallone, CTV News.
And there are a couple of food recalls to tell you about. Consumers across the U.S. have been told to throw out onions after hundreds of people in 35 states got sick from salmonella. Now there's a new recall on various citrus fruits and red potatoes due to potential listeria contamination. The company, Fresh House 2, voluntarily started the recall after finding the bacteria in one of its packing facilities. At the moment, no illnesses have been reported. For a list of the full recall, log on to fda.gov and search for recalls. Well, Purple Line contractors are ordered to stay on the job until September 14th. Contractors had threatened to walk off the job at the end of August, but a judge issued a temporary restraining order yesterday. Baltimore City Circuit Court issued the order after the Maryland Transit Administration filed a lawsuit on Monday against Purple Line Transit Partners. The $2 billion project has been plagued by cost delays, cost overruns, and delays. Well, county officials are making sure every student has the necessary supplies to begin the new school year. The Department of Public Works and Transportation hosted another Stuff the Bus event in Largo today. All sorts of supplies like paper, crayons, pencils, and pens were loaded onto a bus this morning. Members of the police department were there to donate 150 backpacks and supplies.
Although there's distant learning, there still is a need for supplies. They have projects that they need to do. And then, you know, the exciting thing about having the backpacks, I think it really maybe presents some sense of normalcy where people have, or our students have, an opportunity to keep their supplies in something they're familiar with, which is the backpacks.
Another supply drive scheduled for August 19th. Meantime, the county executive will host an event on August 22nd to give away free meals, PPEs, and school supplies to families in need. That event will take place at the Wayne K. Curry Building in Largo from 10 a.m. until noon. Prince George's is joining Houston, San Francisco, and Minneapolis in a new initiative to support children. It's a 2-year pilot project under the UNICEF Child Friendly Cities program. Under that program, the county will analyze the well-being of local children, then develop an action plan to prioritize their needs. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks says she aims to, quote, build an inclusive community for our children. Well, a Largo baker's tweet goes viral with more than 100,000 retweets and likes, and now her business is taking off. Keisha Butts has those details.
Taylor Hampton has been the owner of Simply Sweet Treats by Taylor for 2 years. She sells cinnamon rolls, cakes, cookies, and other desserts. Hampton says as a way to attract more customers, she posted a picture of her cupcakes on Twitter and a message about her business. Little did she know the tweet would go viral.
People were like, do you ship to Germany and Austria and just places? You know, I couldn't even ship cupcakes to if I wanted to, but it was just great. And also getting like messages from younger bakers saying that I'm an inspiration to them. That really just made my heart smile, because it's like I look up to other people, and I would never in a million years think someone would be looking up to me as a baker.
Why do you think that tweet went viral?
We're in a time where everyone wants to support a small business and a Black-owned business, and me being Black-owned, woman business, and a small business, I believe that just added to people wanting to help out.
Hampton says her business is now booked for the next 2 weeks, but she is taking requests from customers for desserts into December. Right now, her shop is home-based, but she has set up a GoFundMe page to open up her own bakery. This is Keisha Butts with CTV News. Back to you.
And that wraps up our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow. I'm Byron Scott. Good night.